Okay, guys, today we got a crazy one. I predict that without a nerf, this is going to be a meta defining build. Now, I did not make this. Someone just killed me with it in like a control match or like a comp match or something. And I was like, dude, this is actually like, you can't even do anything against this. So, yeah, I do think this will end up being meta once it becomes more mainstream, I suppose. We'll see. I could see this with some Void Titans being kind of what some of the top like trials teams end up running. But here are the key parts to the build. Basically, you will need the new speaker sight exotic helmet, and you will need to be on the solar like Dawnblade subclass. Now, basically, what makes this build so strong is the turrets from the helmet. Obviously, that is what the exotic does, so that's what we're going to be playing around. The turrets will basically, they continuously spread restoration to you and your team. Now, restoration isn't really that good, right? But you know what is that good? That is restoration times 2. So now, like, restoration times 2 is like, it's dummy broken, right? We know this. So how do you get restoration times 2? Well, apparently that is what Touch of Flame does. Apparently Touch of Flame aspect works on the turret and it gives you restoration times 2. Okay, so now your turrets are giving restoration times 2 to you. And then kind of what pulls this whole build together with that is the fragment Ember of Benevolence. So applying restoration cure radiant to allies grants increased grenade melee and class ability, blah blah blah. So basically getting restoration to your teammates, it increases your abilities, right? So essentially you're just having ability uptime, and this is pretty crazy because normally you have your healing grenade, right? And you can proc that if you throw it at your teammates. It'll proc one time. However, with this, it will proc over and over and over. Basically, the turret will just keep applying restoration even if you're not like weakened. So you can just stand there and it's going to keep giving you restoration, which keeps proccing the Ember of Benevolence. So you're essentially just getting your abilities back for free. So you're just standing there getting healed and getting your abilities. So you can spam everything. And so you kind of combo this with the Phoenix Dive. Has a pretty short cooldown. It also cures, and I believe cure pulls into the fragment as well. Yeah, so curing also does this. And when you do this, you proc the Hellion, your like solar soul. So honestly, this thing is okay. It's not as good as like the Void one, I don't think. It can be good. It just doesn't have very good tracking. I feel like it kind of aims where someone is at the moment, and then if they move, it's not really going to hit them. So it's not the best, but I mean, you get it for free and it still does have its uses. Like, it can be good sometimes. It definitely comes in clutch. So the thing is though that you'll always have it. You get it for 20 seconds when you do your Phoenix Dive, and you're getting your Phoenix Dive just for standing next to the turret. So yeah, also I paired it with Ember of Singeing, I believe. Yeah, so when you scorch someone, so if the turret does hit someone, it'll scorch them, or if you melee someone, it'll scorch them, and it adds to your class ability. So it all kind of ties back together. As you know, like every single trials meta is just about whatever is easiest to spam abilities with, like with little effort or skill needed, right? Omni meta, then Arc meta, then like Arc Titan, then Void Titan, then Strand Hunter, like with the bugs, like whatever just lets you spam abilities. That's what ends up being meta in trials. Like that's what people want. I pretty much think this will be close to that level if you stack them, because it's gonna get even crazier if you have 2 or 3 of these. It's just like the healing is crazy. Like I feel like it's almost like standing in a well, like without the damage resist. But I could see like 1 or 2 of these. I mean, you could 3 stack them too. It'd be just as strong. But I think maybe like the new Void super on the Titan. So you run like a Void Titan on the Void subclass, so you still get like the overshield, and then maybe 2 of these Warlocks, and then yeah, the Void Titan new super. I could see that being kind of meta. I don't know, I'd have to try. I don't really like play trials like that, so like I don't really know, but I could definitely see people doing that. And yeah, definitely give this a try. Like this is, it's gross. I think this has to get nerfed, if I'm being real. Other fragments, I don't know if they're really that important. This one is pretty good. I always use this in trials because you just get restoration for like reviving, and obviously you're gonna be reviving in trials all the time. especially if you play solo and you got some nice blueberries with you. Um, yeah, so I'd run this because it also gives restoration. I think that applies to the benevolence fragment as well, so not a bad thing to combo. And then, honestly, I threw this one on. I don't know if it really matters. It just seemed like it would fit. It's really not that important as long as you have this on. And then also, if you didn't think this was like OP enough, like, you know, infinite healing, why not have infinite radiant as well? So how do you go radiant with this? Well, I didn't know this, but apparently the turret just makes an orb. Like it says, healing allies occasionally spawns an orb of power. Well, that spawn chance has to be pretty high because it happens constantly, like all the time. You'll just like throw your turret down and there's just like an orb. It just like poops out orbs just for free. So yeah, when you pick up an orb, you will be radiant because of radiant orbs in the artifact. So now you are infinitely healing, infinitely abilitying with your melee and your like dive and your turret, and like you're infinitely healing, infinitely radiant, infinitely solar soul. Like you're doing everything and you don't even need a kill. Like this is all without a kill. This is just you throwing the turret down. Like you don't need to kill anyone, you don't need to do damage, you don't gotta do anything. Just throw the turret down and like profit. Like you're actually doing all of that just for like existing. Weapons, I mean, you could probably run whatever, it doesn't really matter. I feel like it kind of combos with Red Death because like you're curing and all that, and like also when you're radiant, Red Death is like very consistent too. I mean, it's a good gun in general, but when you're radiant, the 2 burst is like, it's pretty free. Like it's very consistent, and like I said, you'll be radiant with nearly 100% uptime. So just grabbing the orbs, and the turret just makes orbs. Like it really does. It just healing your teammates, which it does even if they're injured or not. It just makes orbs. So you'll be radiant all the time. Yeah, the build is actually gross. Like I think this is something that needs to get nerfed once it becomes more mainstream. I mean, you know how that goes though. It's going to be meta for like 2 months or 6 months, and people are going to quit because it's like so lame to play against, and it'll take forever to nerf. But we'll see. I guess I could be wrong. Maybe it's not that strong, but it definitely seems like it's going to be an issue, especially with how the game has been going. They're kind of, you know, removing special ammo. You can't one-shot people as easily. They're like removing sniping. You get flinched. So like it's very much team. Like this is the best build for team shotting. Like if you guys all just stand next to the turret with like pulse rifle or igneous or something, like it's actually gross. Like I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but I could definitely see this being meta. I kind of don't want to put this out there, but like I said, I didn't make this, so like it's already out there, I'm sure. I mean, I just happened to run into someone using it, but I'm very sure that this will be out there. I'm pretty sure most people probably even already know about this, but I didn't see a video on it really, so I figured I'd put it out here. Maybe it'll help us get it taken care of faster, but I really doubt that. Yeah, also just type the build as far as armor stats. I mean, I think you want high recov and high grenade. You could probably tweak your intellect versus resil. I just went with 100 resil because like why not? I don't know. just trying it out. It doesn't really matter on your intellect if you can still get it before the game's over. You could probably up it a bit. I was running the new super. I mean, it's not bad. It has its uses. It's kind of weak against other supers, I feel like. Like if I pop and someone else pops, it's just not a good matchup, but I could also just be bad, you know. The super is brand new. Who knows if it's great or not. I maybe I'm just bad with it, but yeah, you could use that or Dawnblade. I don't know if Well's worth it. I mean, maybe. The new Well seems kind of weak, but I mean, it's still Well, so it could be good if you're bad with Dawnblade. Dawnblade's kind of tricky to use, but I don't know. Super doesn't really matter, honestly. Like, legit, if you just throw this fragment on and like throw the dive on and like the Hellion, the soul thing, and the helmet, like you're cooking. Like that's literally all it takes. It's really not hard. You just throw the turret down, do your little dive, and then like it's just over. Like you're just healing. Like you can peek anything. Like it's actually crazy. So yeah, definitely give this a try. I think this is gonna be an issue. So we'll see if I'm right, I guess, in like a month or two. But yeah, I could definitely see this with some Void Titans, like I said. So yeah, that's the build. Let me know if there's anything else you guys would add to it. I'm not like super optimized at all times. Like I'm just not that guy. But yeah, this build is actually pretty cracked. So let me know if there's anything that you would add or change, and definitely try it out if you haven't. It's pretty gross. I mean, it's kind of fun for now. It's fun until it becomes meta. But yeah, give it a go. Let me know. Leave a comment. But yeah, as always, I appreciate the support, and I'll see you guys next time.